The Galactic Council chamber was a monument to centuries of diplomacy. Stars glittered through the transparent dome, illuminating the delegates seated in concentric rings. Each represented a species that had once thought itself the peak of evolution, until humanity arrived. For decades, the Council had tolerated humans. Their ingenuity, their adaptability, their refusal to yield to hostile worlds had unsettled the older species. But it was humanity's restraint that puzzled the Council most. Time and again, humans chose dialogue when others would have launched fleets. They endured insults, tolerated trade sanctions, even ignored territorial provocations. The other races called it weakness. But restraint was never weakness. It was choice. The Council crossed the line on a cold day when the motion passed. 30,000 human colonists would be sacrificed to settle a territorial dispute between two alien powers. The Council voted without hesitation, dismissing humanity's protests. The colony was deemed expendable, a pawn in a greater political game. The alien fleet descended upon the world of Halvar III. No warning, no negotiation. By the time human relief ships arrived, the colony was ash and silence. 30,000 men, women, and children erased. When the report reached Earth, there was no outcry, no chaos. Only silence. Humanity mourned, and then, collectively, they decided. Restraint was over. The first to notice were the Valorians, an aquatic race whose fleets had enforced Council decrees for centuries. Their patrol stations began disappearing, quietly at first. A carrier vanished without distress signals. Then an entire battle group, ripped apart in less than an hour. Survivors spoke of black ships emerging from nowhere, their weapons slicing through shields as though they were mist. The Council dismissed the reports. Exaggerations, they said. Humans lack the technology. Then the humans arrived at the Council itself. A fleet unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen descended upon the capital world. Sleek, angular warships radiating controlled fury. Their hulls shimmered with adaptive armor, reflecting the Council's own weapons back upon their fleets. Where alien ships lumbered, human vessels danced with lethal precision. The Council called for parley. Humanity did not answer. Within hours, orbital defense platforms were slag. Fleets burned in the void. The Council's seat of power, once thought unassailable, was breached. The councilors, beings who had ruled for millennia, watched in horror as their defenses fell like brittle glass before a storm. On the ground, human soldiers advanced with an efficiency that chilled even veteran warriors. They did not slaughter indiscriminately, but neither did they hesitate. Every target was chosen with surgical precision. Command bunkers collapsed. Power grids shut down. Communications blacked out. The surviving councilors were gathered in the Great Chamber, the same place where they had voted away 30,000 human lives. Into the silence walked Admiral Marcus Hale, representing Earth. His uniform bore no medals, no decoration, only the insignia of humanity. His voice was calm, measured, carrying across the chamber with the weight of inevitability. 30,000 colonists, he said. Remember that number. It is the price of your arrogance. You believed our mercy was weakness. You believed restraint meant submission. Today you learn the truth. He gestured, and holograms filled the chamber. Burning colonies, shattered fleets, council warships falling before human fire. You have ruled through fear, through decrees enforced at the cost of innocent lives. No longer. The Galactic Council is no more. The alien delegates trembled. Some wept. Others shouted in protest. One reptilian lord demanded to know what would replace the council. Hale's eyes were cold. Nothing. You will govern yourselves or perish. Humanity will not rule you. But never again will we kneel to those who would treat lives as expendable. Then, with a single command, the chamber was sealed. The councilors realized, too late, that humanity had already chosen their fate. The building erupted in white fire. When the dust cleared, only ruins remained. Word spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Empires that had mocked humanity now cowered. Worlds that once dismissed them as fragile deathworlders now whispered their name with reverence and dread. Humanity had shattered the greatest power the galaxy had ever known, and had done so not for conquest, but for vengeance. The message was unmistakable. Human restraint was not weakness. It was a mercy granted by choice. And now every species knew. If ever again the galaxy crossed that line, humanity would annihilate without hesitation. The stars themselves seemed quieter in the wake of that truth. And in every council archive that remained, carved into the ruins of shattered halls, one phrase was etched: 30,000 colonists. Remember that number.